In this video, I'll share with you 3 important actions that you can take to solve your cash flow problems fast. In fact, this is what I recommend to all my clients who wants to win on the cash flow side of the business. Hi, I'm Shishir. I'm a financial scaling coach for female entrepreneurs who wants to scale their business fast. I'm not going to talk about the detailed tactics of sending invoices as soon as the work is completed, asking for a deposit, negotiate with suppliers, seek for funding. I'm going to talk about the foundation of solving cash flow problems as a female entrepreneur. In the past, I've shared a lot of tactics to solve cash flow problems. You can watch them by clicking somewhere on the video. All these tactics works great, but not until you do 3 things that I'm going to share with you today. Work on your money mindset to improve relationship with money. I've found out most entrepreneurs don't pay much attention to the money side of the business. Over the past 10 months, I've interviewed women entrepreneurs across 20 different niches, and one of the interviews mentioned in the niche said, I don't want to look at the money side of the business. I already feel anxious by lack of money in a bank account. What if my situation is even worse? Then what do I do? Now the female entrepreneur said to me, Cecile, I don't do what I do for money. Money is a byproduct of what I do for a living. For me, it's more about impact rather than income. Then she also says, as a female entrepreneurs, we do have so much challenge in saving money, and we believe it's not about money, and we let go of our intentions in this area, and we say we don't care about money, then we end up being broke. Instead of doing this, what if you could take responsibility of the money side of the business so that you can provide for your family first? That's one of the main reasons why you started your business in the first place, right? For this to happen, you need to work on your money mindset, because mindset is everything. Tony Robbins says success in life is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. What you do doesn't matter if you aren't in the right mindset. For example, if you can change the money mindset from I can afford this to how can I afford this, then your brain is starting to search for the solution that can help you to move forward in your business rather than staying stuck and saying I can afford this. So before we move on to the next step, take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on reaching new videos. Learn how cash flows in the business. Imagine you're driving on a road. Most of the vehicles are overtaking you as you have to drive slow because there's some problem with the vehicle and you don't know what the problem is. This is a tricky situation because you can't solve a problem when you don't know what the problem is in the first place. I've learned a great thing from Mark Cuban in an interview while replying to the question, what's key to being successful as an entrepreneur? Cuban said, busting your ass. It's not about the money or connections, it's more about the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone when it comes to your business. And if it fails, learn from what has happened and do a better job next time. Outwork and outlearn are the main words here. So let's focus on outlearn for a bit. If you don't know how the money side of the business works, then you're already behind the game. The first thing that you should learn is how cash flows in the business and ultimately to your personal bank account. Here is how cash flows in your business has to go to 5 stops. Let's say that you take a train to go to a new city. On your journey, you have to take 5 stops before it reaches your destination. In the same way, the cash flows in your business has to go to 5 stops before it reaches the ultimate destination, your pocket. Let me take you through each of these 5 stops in the cash flow journey. First, you make a sale and you collect the payments from your customer. This is the first stop in the cash flow journey. Second, then you have to pay for suppliers who help you directly to make those sales. It's called cost of fulfillment. Then you arrive at the gross profit, which is the second stop in the cash flow journey. And then you pay for fixed expenses, which are like rent, salaries, office expenses, and these are the costs that you have to pay regardless whether you make sales or not. Then you arrive at net profit before tax, which is the third stop in the cash flow journey. Then you have to pay for business tax, which tax on profits, and you arrive at the fourth stop in the cash flow journey, and then you pay for personal tax. Then you arrive at the fifth and the final stop in the cash flow journey. Now you know the cash flow has to go through 5 stops before it reaches the ultimate destination, your pocket. Once you learn how cash flows in the business, then you'll find out what's the real cause of the cash flow problems, which stops are underperforming, how it affects the flow of the business, and what are the consequences if they're not fixed. Once you have this clarity in your business, then you'll find a solution to solve cash flow problems by making some changes to the stops. For a limited time, I'm opening a few spots on my calendar to help female entrepreneurs through free 20-minute coaching session. If you want to get ideas how to fix your cash flow problems or create more cash flow in your business, then book a time with using the link in the description below. And with that, let's move on. Work with a coach to get the results in a short time frame. Just because something has worked for others, that doesn't mean that you can implement in your business. Every business is unique, every person is unique, and they may have a particular skill set or expert help. If you want to grow and try to figure it out, get a handle of what's stopping you from growing, or you want to replicate the success that other has in a shorter period of time, then ask for help. I've noticed that most entrepreneurs don't want to talk about the money side of the business with their friends and families, and even with their business partners if they are not 50-50. So it is good to have someone, a coach, who not only listens to you but also gives you feedback and recommendation, what is working, what is not working. You can discuss all your money matters with your coach where there's no judgmental and keeping your privacy in place. With a coach, that you get advice not only how to increase sales in the business, how to reduce costs, how to reduce expenses, when to borrow, how much to borrow, whether you need to raise a capital. It's more than that. Just by talking about it, you'll be relaxed and relieved that someone took a big weight off your chest, and that's very helpful. With a coach, you are never alone. Whenever there is a financial problem, you both work at it to solve it. So keeping financial challenge to yourself only causes stress and anxiety. It only leads to making rational decisions that are desperate rather than methodological, and you cannot focus on work. With the coach having by your side, you don't have to go through this path. I've seen female entrepreneurs hide their cash flow situation because of perceived judgment and privacy. We don't go to the doctor and not tell everything. So whenever I go to the doctor, I feel it is my responsibility to tell him everything so that the doctor can prescribe me the right medication. They don't judge like, oh, you have this disease. It should be no different when it comes to financial problem. So find a good financial coach and then share your cash flow situation and ask what you can do to improve it. Obviously, you'll have to trust the person that you're talking to, but the point is, there's no judgment from your coach and privacy is maintained. So get over your fears and get help as soon as possible if you want to solve your cash flow problems and create more cash flow in your business. There you have it, 3 important things that you must do to solve your cash flow problems. If you got value from this video, then like it and share it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on future new videos, which I publish every Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. Your comments are my oxygen, so don't forget to comment below. I respond to them all. Now, I would like to turn over to you. Are you already doing one of these 3 things that I recommended? If yes, which one? Let me know by leaving a comment below. As I mentioned earlier, we have few spots available on the calendar for a free 20-minute coaching session. So if you are looking to create more cash flow or control more cash flow or compound cash flow, then you can book a session by clicking on the link on the description below, and I would love to see you on the other side.